We finally made it. I cannot believe we made it, but we did. We made it again. These huge lakes, they take me months and time to do, but I'm telling you, I'm always proud once we get them done. This is going to be the last video for Pickwick Lake. If you guys have missed the other videos up until this point, there's been quite a few of them. Go out, look at the lake breakdown playlist, just search Pickwick and you'll find the information in there. You can also always remember, go out the website, Simplistic Fishing. We've got the cards for sale. We've got the waypoints. You can always have them anytime you want. Just go out there and look at them, purchase them, get everything you need. Now, tonight, let's go ahead and finish this thing up. We're headed more up into the Mississippi, Tennessee side. We're still going to touch some Bama side, don't worry, but we are getting more up into that northern section, closer towards Mississippi and Tennessee, where the final offshore hotspots are. Let's rock and roll. Well, here we are back on Pickwick Lake, still using the Navionics mobile app, and I think this is going to be the last breakdown video we do for Pickwick Lake. So if you've missed any of the other ones, just go out to our lake breakdown playlist, click on the little search tool at the top, type in Pickwick, and you should be good to go and see all the different ones that we've done. We've gone through the Google Earth side, we've gone through the offshore hotspots on one video, and hopefully this will be our last offshore hotspots video. So let's go ahead and jump into it. If you missed the first video, we started at the dam and worked our way up until about right in here, right around this bend right here. If I zoom in, you're gonna start to see a little red man somewhere in here. There he is. And that is where we're going to start today. That's where we ended last time, right there where that little secondary creek channel, I guess you would call it, where it comes through. You've got the road beds there, and you've also got some pretty interesting little points that come out here in this area as well. These are all looking pretty good. And then of course, you've got the big ledge that's just right over here as well. All right, so let's move up a little bit, see what else we see in here. Here's another one of those areas I was talking to you about in the first video, where you have the creek channels that are coming into the main river arm. And you can see here where the creek channels are and where they connect, those little openings right there and the little points on the right where the opening is. Those are always good as well. You've got a little hump out there too. So if I zoom in here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You've got a little hump that's a little higher than everything else around here. And then you've got that little creek channel turn that's right there. You've got a creek channel bend there. You've got a little hump here that they could get up on and feed. So pretty good looking little area right in here. I like all these things that have these little creek channels that come in, because those to me just kind of, it allows you to kind of zone in and really say, okay, this should be a high percentage spot, because just based on the contours and everything like that, kind of hopefully eliminate some of your searching, because obviously this lake is gigantic. Also, when you get back in here, don't forget to go back and check these things out, these little submerged culverts. Sometimes they can be excellent. There can be debris on them and things like that, different types of cover that they can get around. Now let's keep moving up here. We're kind of getting up to the bend up here right before we go out here to this little area here. So let's go right up in here. Let's just talk about some of the stuff here. Now again, there's probably tons of other things that we can mark. So we're just marking higher percentage things that we see on this map. You can tell up here where it gets shallow, you've got these little creek channels coming in. Again, that's another one of those areas, but look at this little point that's over here too. This looks good. You also got a hump out here at 3 foot, and then a really good drop. So you got a nice little ledge going on right around in this area as well, with that nice hump there. And then if you look over here, it's not as obvious, but if you look over here on this side, you're gonna notice the contours are a whole lot different right in here, where it basically it's deep, and then it comes up a lot shallower really quick, and then it kind of gets a little bit deeper and then really deep again. But right in here, right around in this little area, pretty close to wherever that buoy is there, that light, that is going to be a pretty decent little area to go scan around and see what you can find out there. And that, of course, you've always got this massive ledge that's out there too that you can go mess around on. And then let's go out here and let's look over here on this side. Now, again, I could have marked 1,000 spots on here. Pretty much anywhere where you see these little ledges, you've got these nice, I guess I'll even call them like big flats that come out, and they create these ledges where these creek channels are. You can see the dotted lines. There's the creek channels that are coming in. There's one coming through here. There's another one coming from back in here. And then there's the third one that comes back from here. So obviously just looking at this area, you got 3 different creek channels kind of all diverging into the main river channel at some point in time and making all kinds of twists and turns. But you've got some really cool little flats to go fish around and some really good ledges off the edge of these flats too. You've got up here, but basically, I mean, the whole thing just looks pretty good. So I definitely check out that area. It looks like it's got some flooded timber in there too, so that's always good for the largies. And then let's skip up here. This is Second Creek. We didn't see too much up in this area. Obviously the bridge is going to be a big place to fish. You could look out here where these little ledges are. So you've got the flat point that kind of comes off, very, very gradual, and then boom, it falls right off into the creek channel. So that area right in there, you can see the creek channel come down. There's the dotted lines, and you can see where it slams up against that area right there. This thing's pretty much the same thing. We probably should have put the mark here and maybe left it off there, but either one's going to be good. This one's actually probably going to be the higher percentage one, just based on how it locates to that creek channel, but that one could still be good too. It's still close enough to that creek channel, or if that creek channel is not marked right and maybe it comes over and hits right here and runs straight down, these might be 2 really good points as well. So you just have to get out there and check it out, but that is an area that I would go look at. Also up in here, gets to where, a little bit shallower. There's a couple things up here we wanted to point out. One up here is a submerged bridge. I can't tell how deep that bridge is, but definitely something I would go check out. Anytime there's a submerged bridge, I got to go check it out. And sometimes they say there's submerged bridges there and there's nothing there as well. So you just never know. All right, so let's keep moving. As we look a little bit further up here, we also have more creek channels. You can see them through here. It's hard to tell, like right in here, if I pull this back, it's not as easy, but you can see here's those creek channels coming through. There's one right here, it zigzags. You got a main one that comes back here, goes up here where this bridge is up here, that goes into that area that we were just looking at, that Second Creek. So all of that, guys, it's just good stuff to look at, good little drops. I would definitely probably pay more attention to just sticking around where those creek channels are. Those creek channels are pretty much like highways for the bass. And if you just follow those, eventually you're going to run into some pretty good stuff. If we look down here, you kind of got the same thing again, a little creek channel or something that's coming in right through there. You can kind of see it here, but when you zoom in, it looks really good. It looks like some kind of a hump and then a little bit of a ledge or something. Can't tell what the heck is going on, but anytime you see those kind of contours, you've got some points, ledges, a deep spot, a high spot, another point that's right here off the main river channel. These are going to be good spots to look. Probably a community spot because you can see they've already got 2 of those fishes out there showing that that someone's marked that as a good area. Moving on down, as we get in here, again, just kind of marking the main ledge that's here, but there's also a roadbed right in there that you can barely see. I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see that online, but there's a roadbed that goes right here and runs right off the top of where that ledge is. It's right here. So definitely something to look at. That point is right on top of that roadbed. And then of course, if you're fishing the roadbed, you got to come out here and fish the bridge. See what you can find out there. Looks like a nice submerged bridge that's probably going to be in some pretty deep water that's out there. As we move on down, just kind of looking at both sides here, we'll hit these 2 and then we're going to dive down into that arm. But as we come up here, just some submerged culverts up here that you might want to look at. You can see we've got several of them. Well, actually, there's 3 of them. There's one here. I think they're saying that's a submerged culvert, but definitely one right here too. So this is a main creek channel. This is a main creek channel as well. And then I think these dots makes it an actual creek bed. But either way, 3 different culverts. Those little culverts can be pretty impressive places to go fish sometimes. So, and again, it's one of those things too where they tell you there's a submerged bridge there and you go up and there's no submerged bridge. It can also be that way with the culverts too. You can tell something may have been there at one point in time, but sometimes there's not always any cover left that's been left behind. All right, so let's go ahead and back that out. And we are going to dive down here into this little area here and see what we can find here. So first, we already talked about this, I believe, maybe not, but here's a giant flat, right? Emergent vegetation. You probably got some hydrilla that's out there in the summertime and stuff like that. It's just probably a juicy looking place to look. You can see all these different things, roadbed intersection. There must be a good roadbed that sets up on top of that flat. We can't see, oh, we can see it. I didn't think we'd be able to see it, but here's the roadbed, so you definitely want to go up and check out those roadbeds. I don't know what these red dots are. It just says depth area. But anyways, you could get up there, fish around those roadbeds. If there's vegetation around that, there's probably a break where those roadbeds are, and you could fish just the roadbeds because you're basically fishing the breaks of the grass. That would be an interesting place to go look, especially in the springtime. But if you look just outside of there, where that roadbed came up, there's also a nice little point that sticks out here that goes basically from 13 foot to 35 foot. So again, another good place to go look at just to see if you can locate some fish there. Nice little creek channel that comes out here. You can see it, runs down, does a little swirly loo, kind of gets close to these docks, but if you look right here, it comes down and actually goes into another submerged bridge or a big culvert. There's a couple of them here. There's two of them here, two different creek beds. Those again are pretty good spots to look. You can always locate fish on that kind of stuff. They love that stuff, and it's usually not that deep. You know, you're only talking 20 foot of water there, 25 foot of water, but those submerged bridges they'll hold all kinds of fish, and bass just love to get up next to them. Getting down here in Bear Creek, you know, not too much from an offshore standpoint. There's obviously a lot of stuff here. If I was just looking at the contours, I'd say, hey, you know, make sure you're paying attention to anywhere these creek channels come and touch these bank lines, like right in here or right here. Let me zoom in and just kind of show you what I'm talking about. Of course, when I do that, it really, really pops, right? But right here would be a good place because the creek bed's coming down and it's touching the edge of this giant flat. So where that bend is from 12 to 27, but right where that point is, it's also got a creek bed coming on the outside of it. So pretty much, you know, if I'm gonna come up here and scan, I might start right here and just kind of, you know, back and forth through here and just see if I see anything either up on top of the ledge or out here kind of hanging out, and just zooming in and around there. That would be a higher percentage area. Also up here, like where you see this creek bed come down here and you see this point come off right in there. And then really anywhere where this creek bed swings up against the bank line. So this looks like it's probably maybe a boat ramp or marina. I can't even tell what the heck that is, but right in there could be interesting too. And then as we zoom back out, we're just gonna follow that little creek bed and see what else is out here. Now we probably could have marked a couple things out here, so I'll just go ahead and point them out to you. One would be this major bend right here. That probably collects some things. Debris, stuff like that. And the other would probably be this hump that you see out here. It's 19 foot, so it's a pretty deep hump. For this lake, it's not that bad. But if you look at it, it's got a lot of creek channel things coming into it, right? You've got a creek channel that's right here that's swinging to the back side of it. It's also got another little intersection with a creek bed that's right here. And then if you look up at the top, there's a creek channel bend that happens right off the tip of the top of the hump too. So that makes it a pretty high percentage area to find some fish. I would definitely go back there and check that out. All right, we're gonna keep moving back and see what else. Again, probably missed quite a few things in here, but we can't put 1,000 different points out here. Just kind of marking the major things. I really like this spot because if you look here, again, I'm all about creek channels, right? I'm all about wherever that creek channel is typically are the higher percentage areas. You've got one over here off this main lake point. I don't even know if you could call it main lake, but it's kind of main lake in this area. And then you also have creek channels running through here that are bending around the edge of this point. That makes that point very, very juicy. So you definitely want to go check out that point and see what's going on there. And really check out any of these main lake points. Any of those main points you want to look at. And then should be about it from an offshore standpoint here. We may even come back later and just really dig into this one because I guarantee there's some other stuff in here that we just didn't have marked in here, like the submerged bridge. I really like it when these creek channels come up and swing up against the bank line, right? So you get that big bluff wall, that spot right there. I don't know why, but it's been my experience when I go out on these lakes that have these big bluff walls, this tends to be the hottest spot every single time. And it almost seems like it doesn't even matter if it's summer, winter, fall. They always seem to be in this area. And so when you're out there checking out those bluff walls, especially if this is a bluff wall or really, really steep wall, go to where it just starts to pick up to be shallow, like just right where it starts to pick up to be shallow, and fish about, I don't know, let's say 150 yards, 200 yards down the bank line, maybe like down to right here. I would bet that if you're gonna get a bite in that area, it's gonna happen, or if you're gonna get a bite, say in this big area, it's gonna happen in that little span right there. I don't know why, it's been my luck. It's been tried and true too. I've used it to my advantage at certain times, so definitely go out and give it a whirl. All right, so I'll back off that, get off my little horse there, and move on up here out of Bear Creek. Over here by this marina, some interesting stuff too. You got a nice little point that's over here. You got a creek bed coming through here. Got a lot of docks and things like that that you can fish over there too. So lots going on from a cover perspective. Getting back out here to the offshore stuff, getting in the main river now. We're gonna move on up. You can see here we're at the 225 mile, another good offshore spot right in here. Looks like 1808 from a high school. Dang, some high school team must have put on a bag out here right off of this point. So you definitely want to go out and check out that point, see what you can find. Let me back that out. That was coming right out of Bear Creek. Now we're going to move on up, see what else we can find. A lot of the similar things, right? We've got the bridges, the underwater bridges, the creek channels. You're going to want to check those out. These points, you got some humps up here too. Check out these humps, these big old flats. I'm just going to call them flats, not even humps. They're big flats that come out. So it's only a 10-foot flat, but look right here, like at these little intersections, that is juice right there. I mean, the flats in general can be fun, but if you can find the little things that are different inside those flats, then now you find like double juice. And so you definitely want to look at all these spots that we just marked right in there. As we move up, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, kind of point these things out to you. Here's a nice ledge that's over here. And then right here, you notice there's a creek bed that comes through here. There's another creek bed that right here. There's another one right that goes through there. Notice the ledges that these little creek beds are making as well. There's a submerged culvert that's right in here. We'll zoom in here and show it to you. Another submerged bridge or a culvert that's there too. These little intersections too, don't forget about those. Of course, you know, that's kind of why we marked this area right here. It didn't show up right when I zoom it in, but it's supposed to be, there it is. On top of this little flat right here too, dropping right off. Sometimes these little areas right in here, or even right in here, can be the juice spots, so go check them out. Some more stuff, submerged culverts. Moving up here, we've got another, it looks like an underwater bridge or something like that. You definitely have that roadbed that's there too, so it is a submerged bridge, so go check that out. It's only 22 foot of water, so not too bad. And while you're there, go check out this little point that's just right up here, because if you notice, you've got some creek channel action going on really, really close to it, and it's got a nice little flat and a nice little sharp spot on the other side of it. So that looks like it could be a juicy point there. And then when it gets really, really cold, they may just pull back and just go to that bridge, and that might be where they spend the majority of their time right there, just bouncing between those two spots. Okay, so I'm gonna pull back, show you where I'm at. We're still in Bama. We're working our way up. Another submerged bridge that's over here as well. We've got a ledge that's over here. Definitely want to check out these ledges. The ledges look awesome. But if you can find some stuff like around ledges, like this little roadbed, kind of follow the roadbed around. If you can find little humps, like you notice this is a little bit higher than everything else around it, 17 foot, so we went ahead and marked it for you. It's just something that's a little bit different than everything around it. It's a little high spot that's just right in there. Moving on up, I'm gonna swing over here to the right side, then I'll bounce back left. But as I come over here, some more submerged bridges that you want to check out. Hopefully those things are there. I'm going to swing over here to the left side. We're down by Coleman Marina. And I just want to show you some of this stuff. Now, obviously, it's all about the creek channels again, right? Here's the creek channel swinging this way. And it's coming down. And it's pretty close to this little point that comes out here. So this one's a maybe. This one's a definitely. Because if you look where that creek bed is, it swings right up against it. Also up here at the top, you got another little point that comes out that's very, very close to that creek channel. And right there where it gets the sharpest and then starts to shallow up again, that's right in there, and it actually has like a little indentation there. Those can be good little ambush spots right there too, so you're gonna wanna check all of that out. This looks pretty good. As I mentioned before, you got the point up here close to the creek channel, but also swing down And don't be scared to look right in here too, because there is a big old turn going on right here, and there could be some fish in this little area. All right, we're gonna move on up. I already pointed that one out to you guys a minute ago. We got another good little area here right off this little break wall where you've got a really nice little pinch point here. Looks like you might have a creek channel that runs through here too. Plus you got some roadbed action. So just anywhere right in this area could have some really good potential. That is a really weird mark on that one. It says water turbulence. Interesting. Hopefully you can get in there. Turbulence is good. We'll take it. All right. So I'm going to move on up, see what else we can find. Got some decent little points that are out here. If we look out here where this little fish attractor thing is, we're like, okay, why is that a good one? Well, notice it's a pretty big little flat. Flat's in about 22 feet, but it makes a little point right there. So it's definitely a deep area. I don't know if that's, you're not her first guy. Nice, that is hilarious. All right, so you never know what we're gonna find. Let's keep moving up, see what else we can find. Some more humps that are right in here. Again, paying attention, just while I'm doing this, pay attention to those creek channels. If you see anything crazy, like where it goes up against something, and usually you know if it does because you'll see these really tight contours, that could be another spot that you might want to go look at. You know, these humps are obviously really good spots too. Moving up here, we're going to come over here to the side. Really good high spots, right? But then if you look over here, this may be a roadbed. I can't tell what this gray line is. I keep getting this gray line. I believe it's a roadbed, but you definitely want to go back here and check it out if it is a roadbed, because you've got a roadbed really kind of intersecting in with a creek bed there too. So maybe up here in this area, right where we have that marker at, maybe a little bit deeper, and then you could also check out the submerged bridge. In addition, you've got this little hump that's out here too that you could check out. All right, so now we're gonna swing back over. Now we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna see what's inside of this little area right here. Submerged bridges, definitely, you can see them all. But then there's some other good stuff that's in here too, right? You've got a nice flat that's on top of this little area. And then here you make a nice little point that goes out and really touches that little creek bed. So right in there, another submerged culvert right there. Some more submerged bridges and culverts, a bunch of them actually. You could, if that was the pattern, you'd be all over them because there's a bunch of them back here. Also take a look at this little point that comes out here. We like how that one sets up. You've got a little hump that's out here you could look at where you've got basically a roadbed going right over the top of it. That one could be really interesting. Then let's keep moving on, see what else we can find here. Going out, more submerged bridges. I'm gonna have to speed it up so we don't run out of time here. Another submerged bridge right in here as well. Again, you got the roadbed. I'll back this out and show you guys where I'm at. I'm right here. We're actually getting up close to the Tennessee border now. As I move over here, some more flooded timber, but again, roadbeds, submerged bridges. Those are good things, more submerged bridges. Out here, you got a pretty decent little hump you could check out. I like that. That one looks really good. And then I'm gonna keep moving up. Let's just go on up here. We'll go all the way to the border, then we'll cut across. So as we move up to the border, as you get up here, you know, you're looking for these sharp drops, looking for these humps and things like that. Right here, primo spot. You can tell it looks really, really good. I would definitely go check that out. Moving on up here, you got a couple interesting things. You got a little underwater point that comes out here. And if you look really closely, you've got these creek beds that are swinging against that little point. So that makes it even juicier. Really like that. Down here too, notice there's some kind of obstacle or something here, but notice how it comes down really, really sharp and then breaks off into some shallower water. This could be an interesting spot right there to at least check out. And then I'm gonna move up, hit these other two that are up here. You can see these little humps. Again, creek channels going right around the top of them. And then right over here, this little point that comes out, if we look at it, it's got a roadbed that runs right off the tip of it. And I like how it has that flat top on it too. I really like those points with those flat tops. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch over. We're gonna get over here into Mississippi real quick. I am in Mississippi, right? Yeah, we're gonna get over here to Mississippi real quick and just point out a couple things for you in this area. So one, you know, pretty good point that's right here. I like, again, how sharp it is right there with that creek channel coming right up against there. And this little flat area right in here. I really like those spots right there. Those are very high production spots for me. Also back here, a submerged bridge. Someone's even marked it. As I zoom back and come back here, really you can fish all these points. I mean, all these points can be good because they have really good ledges on them. But obviously we couldn't mark all the points. But pay attention to those, you know, as I'm looking here, because you can see you've got some really steep stuff going on out into some of this stuff. Now we marked this one. We really liked this. You got a nice little flat with a good break, creek channel coming through. Here's some decent little points that you could fish to, you know, and then you can get out and get even deeper from there. Some more points in this area too. Nice little hump that's back here. You can check out with the creek channel that swings up against the front of it. So I really like this one. It's a point with an island on top of it, and then a creek channel that runs right along the side of it. And then of course, if you're paying attention where that creek channel is, it comes up and almost hits this point too, right off the side of it. So that makes that a higher percentage area as well. Let's go ahead and finish right up here, and then we'll go down this cove. A couple more things that were up here that I like. I like this one. It's a nice little hump that's out here. Of course, it's all buoyed up, so you'll know exactly where it is when you get there. My guess is probably community stuff. Also out here, you got another island you could fish around. There's a submerged bridge on this side. I'd say the best part of that island is probably going to be this side where the creek channel is. I wouldn't waste as much time on the backside. I'm not saying you can't catch a fish on the backside, because you can pretty much catch a fish anywhere. But I would spend most of my time off the front side of this island around the submerged bridge and where that creek channel is swinging up against the front of that island. All right, I'm going to move on up. We've also got this little point that's right here. I like it again. Comes out, nice flat top, 10 foot. Everything looks juicy on that one. Coming over here, you always want to fish the middle of those bridges for sure. Those are just money spots. Coming back here, a couple things to look at. I'm not sure what this is that's coming in here. I don't know if this is a creek and Navionics just gave up on it or what. But you've got some interesting stuff going on back here. So I'd say just come out here and check this out and just see what in the world that is. It's probably some kind of water pump out or something like that, and that's why it has such weird contours. But anyways, go check it out. We're going to come out of Mississippi now. We're going to come up here. We're going to get into Tennessee, and we're going to finish this thing up. Let's go ahead and move on up, see what else we can find. We're going to stay on this side. Let's just, for Tennessee, since it's so big up here, I'm just going to stay on this side. I'm going to wrap back around. We'll finish right there at the border. So we'll stay on the east side for right now. I'm just going to point out some stuff here. Nice little ledge here. Really good deep spot. Kind of a, I don't know if it's an old pond or what it is, but I would definitely go check it out. I'd even check out this side too. Don't be scared to look at both sides of it. Let's keep moving up and go over here. And right in here, I really like this. So I'm going to pull this back out, show you guys where I'm at. Just over the border, right? Kind of swinging off to this east side. Love this stuff like right here where it gets a little bit higher, right? 11 foot and breaks down. You got a creek channel swing that comes and touches right in here. I'd check that out, check this out, that spot. I mean, all of it. Look at how these creek channels just wrap around all this stuff, making them, you know, really, really good spots to hopefully find some fish. Now we're going to get up in here. It's going to get a little crazy, but these are all really good spots that we thought you guys should check out. You know, this, I guess you can call it a big flat, but it's got other contours in it, which makes it even more interesting. But here you go. You got some pretty good ledges here. You got a little creek channel swing. You got a nice ledge here as well. You've got a little hump that's out here that drops off into 27 foot. You got a little underwater point that's out here with some kind of obstruction beside it. Another hump that's up here too. So we tried to just mark those really high spots, the things that were different along that whole different area. Hopefully that'll help you guys out. It kind of points out, you know, all the different things we'd be looking at. Points, ledges, humps, creek channel swings, bends. Those are the kinds of things we're looking for. Notice the little creek channel that goes right through here. And notice how many points are close to that creek channel swing. That is why. All right, so we're going to move up here and kind of show you the same thing up here too. Here's your big ledges over here, right? Main river arm. But then you got some mini ledges and stuff like that going on here. Some kind of an obstruction going on right there in that area. That looks pretty good, actually. If you look at that little high spot going on right in there, you got the same type thing, another high spot right in here. Just so much good offshore stuff. You come out in here, looks like we're in the Pompey's branch. But looking over here, I mean, just all kinds of juicy stuff. Look at that, nice little points there. Nice shallow hump that comes up here that comes out at 13 foot. Another hump that's over here. A pretty decent point to look at, a submerged bridge. You've got lots of good stuff to go scan around when you're over here. Again, there's the main drop, right? You got the main river swing coming down, and boom, you're hitting off of this little shallow area right here, and that's gonna be a really, really nice little ledge to fish. Moving up here, kind of the same things, you know, underwater points, close to creek channel swings. These are all really close to the creek channel swings. Another submerged culvert. As we move up, a decent little point that's up here, nice little shallow flat area with a creek channel nearby, so that could have some potential. And then we're gonna get up here a little bit further. Again, coming off that point, I told you guys about it earlier, but anywhere you can get that little shallow area right in there, but also I like this one because it's got that nice flat top to it. So I really like that point, and it's close to the creek channel, obviously, being there. Another little interesting area here as well. It's a little bit deeper, 28 feet, but you got a major creek channel swing coming to the side of it, then comes back and it hits the other side of it too. So that's bringing it in to be in a way higher percentage. You could also check out over here too. This little point over here, it might not get as much pressure, or just really this bank line right in here. Just fishing a little bit off the bank line. Okay, so I'm gonna swing back up. We're almost to the dam up on this side. There's obviously a lot of things that I missed, I'm sure. Again, just pointing out for you some things, and then hopefully you can pattern these to find even more spots on this lake. You could probably mark 1,000 different offshore spots on this lake. We got another one here, nice little creek channel coming down, nice little point to fish that you could check out of there. Another good point there as well. And now we're gonna swing down and fish the southwestern side and finish this thing up. So again, lots of points out here in this main thing. And really, again, what we're looking for is anywhere where you see those drops or humps. So if you look around and you're paying attention, here's your creek bed. And that's what's actually causing these major drops that you see right in here. So we like this because this is where it comes up high and it has the same drop. Over here, kind of the same thing, nice high hump, high spot before a big drop. A really big drop probably going on somewhere right in here, you know, 20 to 35 feet. So we like that as well. There's just all kinds of juicy stuff up here. You got vegetation that's up here. You've got these creek channels that just swing around and cause ledges off of big flats. These are good areas to go fish around. You can see all the different spots we put out there for you, but definitely go check those out. Again, here's another little underwater point you could look. Creek channel swing here too. So you could look on the inside or the outside. This one actually has a hump on the outside of it and the inside of it. So that spot right in there is probably pretty juicy. We're gonna swing down, staying on the west side, right? Because we already covered that east side. Another good point there you could check a look at. A couple more good points here as we marked them as we were going down. You know, not crazy good points, but again, they got almost all of them have creek beds that are really close to them. And that one does, the last one does, this, both of these do. Creek beds on both sides. A nice little underwater point right there too. And if you look out here too, you got a nice little intersection coming on over here and a big old drop, 28 feet to 58 feet. So 30-foot drops out here. This one's pretty good too, 36 to, well, not 36 to 44, we're gonna say 29 to 44. Huge, huge drops. Creek channel comes through here and kind of gets pinched right in this little area. So that could be good. Definitely go look at that. We're gonna swing down. I think we're almost at the border here. So we've got like 4 more spots and we're done with Pickwick. And so we're gonna end it right here. Again, some really good points. You can check it here. If you don't find fish here, just pull off and come out here more where this creek bed is. I would definitely fish right where you see that red mark at, that red fish. Also over here, you've got some pretty good points. And then last but not least, you've got a nice little point that comes out here that's kind of hidden, a little secondary point that you could go check out. So that wraps us up for Pickwick Lake. Again, if you missed any of the videos before this one, go check out our lake breakdown playlist. We have all the videos for Pickwick out there, the Google Earth stuff, the offshore stuff. And don't forget to go out to our website, simplisticfishing.com. We have all these waypoints ready for you. Put them on an SD card, plug them into your graph, do the import, and you will have the entire lake out there in front of you on your units. It will change the way you fish, totally help you in patterning things. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Go check it out, simplisticfishing.com. Until next time, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.